Okay, let's talk about positive and negative numbers. This is something that you learn in middle school, and it's not that difficult, but it's easy to make a mistake. And unfortunately, a lot of math students, when they have trouble in algebra, they make a lot of errors with positive and negative numbers because things that are simple are oftentimes also very easy to make an error with. Okay, that's just kind of the general rule of life. If it's easy, it's also easy to make a mistake. But we're going to go ahead and review and learn how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide positive and negative numbers. This is going to be a quick power lesson on this, just a quick review. It's not going to be that long at all, and I'm going to try to break this down in such a way that you'll remember this, okay, so you don't make any errors. But anyways, tell me what you've think about your own experiences with doing positive and negative numbers. Have you found yourself making a lot of mistakes with this? In other words, you're like, oh, I understand this, I know this, but then you go and get your test or quiz back and you have errors in there. So you're not alone, but tell me if that's been your experience and you're like, I need to figure this out once and for all. But anyways, I'm going to help you figure this out. And I've done other videos on positive and negative number rules before in the past, but this is just a good topic to continue to revisit so we can be successful in mathematics. But before we get going, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is John. I'm the founder of TabletClass Math. I'm also a middle and high school math teacher. And if you've been struggling in math, okay, if you just feel like you're not getting the right amount of instruction, or you just need more support than you're able to get from your teacher, or whatever the case might be, or if you want to get ahead, then you definitely got to check out my math help program. Again, I'm going to leave the link in the description of this video. But my focus is for those of you that are in middle school, high school, even college level in terms of mathematics. So if you are struggling in math, or if you want to get ahead in math and really want to lock in a great grade, I can definitely help you out. Now, if you are studying for any test that has math on it, so I'm talking about things like the GED, SAT, ACT, GRE, GMAT, ASVAB, Accuplacer, ALEX exam, CLEP exam, teacher certification exam, nursing school entrance exam. I can go on and on and on. There's so many different exams out there that have math on it. I can help you prepare and pass those exams. If you homeschool, you absolutely must check out my homeschool math curriculum and program. Been very successful working with homeschoolers for many, many years. And if you don't have any math notes, don't panic. You can use mine. I'm going to leave links to my math notes in the description of this video. But if you want to be great in math, and if you want to have great grades in mathematics, you got to take great math notes. Just trust me on this. There's no getting around taking awesome notes if you want to do awesome in math. Okay, so let's get going here. Quick power review on positive and negative numbers. So we're talking about problems like this: -7 plus 8, or -3 times -2, or -16 divided by 4, or negative of a -5. These are the type of problems we're talking about. Or let's do another one: 1 minus 9. Okay, so this is what we're talking about. And again, these are not that difficult to do, but they're easy to make a mistake because students, stop and they go, "Oh, I kind of forget the rules. What is it again?" They kind of know it, but if you're 75%, remember these rules, well, that doesn't, being close isn't going to cut it because it's you have to know these rules and remember what you're doing 100% of the time. But let's get into this stuff, and I want you to think of positive and negative numbers as being just two rules and two rules only. And let's break this up. So the first rule is going to be what we do with multiplication and division. And then our second rule is for addition and subtraction. And let me go ahead and just break this down this way. This is easy. So for multiplication and division, it's easy because it's the same rule. It's the same rule, and it's like the easiest rule ever. I'm going to show you here in a second. And then here you can see I have something about money when it comes to addition and subtraction. And typically I want you just to think, if you know how to add, then you're going to know how to subtract. Okay, so I want you to kind of group mentally what's going on. So multiplication, division, it's super easy. It's the same rule. And anytime you see addition and subtraction, it's basically just going to be the addition rule. And we want to think money. Okay, so this is good. I mean, we're talking about things that we like. We like things that are easy and we like money. So we're on the right track here. All right, let's go ahead and talk about multiplication and division, and we'll take care of 50% of the rules, right? Because we're talking about adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. Right here, we're going to take care of this rule, the 2 out of 4 of these rules right now. Okay, so what's the deal? Well, if the signs are the same, okay, if the signs are the same, the answer is positive. If the signs are different, this answer is negative. Okay, it's so easy. Let me go ahead and show you. Okay, again, we're talking about multiplication and division. So -3 times -2. Okay, so we can write that this way. -3 times -2. What do we have? Do we have the same signs? Yes, we do. They're both negative. Okay, so our answer is positive. So we're just going to multiply. 3 times 2 is 6. The answer is positive. It's as simple as that. Let's go ahead and just change this up. How about a +5 times a -3? Okay, well, what's the situation? Remember, you focus in on the signs. The signs are different. I got a positive here and a negative here, so I'm just going to multiply, and the answer is going to be negative. Okay, it's as simple as that. 5 times 3, I'm just considering what the sign is. Oh, this one's positive, this one's negative. It's different signs, so it's always going to be negative. I mean, we don't need to make it that much more difficult than what it is. It's a very basic rule, and it's the same rule for division. So let me show you this now. What if I had -25 divided by -5? Okay, well, what are the signs? Are the signs the same? Yes, they are. Negative, negative. So the answer is 25 divided by 5, which of course is a 5, and it's going to be positive. How about a 14 divided by -7? Okay, well, the signs are different. This one is positive, this one's negative, so our answer is negative, so this will be a -2. All right, so again, I wasn't lying to you when I was telling you this is super easy. And already right off the bat, okay, you already got 50% of these operations down. So don't confuse multiplication and division, okay? It's the same sign and it's super easy. So now let's get into adding and subtracting. And really, we're talking about just an addition rule. We want to talk about money, okay? Because we want to model something here. And money is a great money situations is a great way to model positive and negative numbers when we're adding and subtracting them. So I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about right now. Okay, so let me ask you this question. Would you rather have $100, $0, or -$100? Okay. All right, so most of you out there are going to say, "Ooh, I'll take the $100. That's the most money here." But what about between 0 and -100? What would your situation, what would you rather have in terms of your financial situation? Hopefully you said 0. I'd rather have $0 than -$100. What does this mean? What does -$100 mean? Well, it means that you have less than $0. This is debt, right? Let's kind of look at it this way here. Let's talk about money respect this way. Okay, so let's say I have $0 right there, and up here I have $100. That's great. So here I have money, or here I have no money, but then I start having actual money that I can use. Now, but can we go the other way? Yes, you can, unfortunately. You can go down here and have less than no money. Okay, you can have debt. Yeah, so anytime you see a negative sign associated with money, that's debt. Okay, so it's actually less than 0. Okay, that's what we use positive and negative numbers to express things like money and debt and whatnot. They come in very handy. All right, so let's take a look at a problem here. Let's start off with something like this. Let's say you have you have let's do it this way. Let's start off with -10 plus 7. All right, -10 plus 7. Let's think of this as debt, something that you owe. So maybe you borrowed $10 from your best friend. You borrowed $10 from your best friend, And now your best friend comes up to you and says, "Hey, I want my money back. Give me that negative ten, that $10 that you gave back to me." But you actually have $7 in your pocket right now. You're like, I got $7 in your pocket. So if you gave your friend your $7, what do you still owe them? Okay. Well, if you owe your friend $10, but you have $7 to pay them back, how much do you still owe your friend? Okay. Hopefully, you're seeing that it's going to be $3. Okay. You're still going to owe your friend $3. So when you're looking at positive and negative numbers, that you have right here, you have more debt than you have money. Okay, so if your friend says, "Hey, give me my $10," so I don't have $10, I'll give you my $7 and I'll owe you $3. Okay, so here is what happens when you're adding positive and negative numbers. Okay, when one is positive and one's negative, you're always going to subtract the two. Now we just have to determine what sign it's going to be. Okay, well, in this case, you have more debt, more negative numbers, okay, than you do positive. So we still owe your friend $3. Okay, so that's kind of the way you want to think of. That's why I like to use money as an example. Let's go ahead and do another example. What about this? Let's say you have $12 and you owe someone $8. Okay, so 12 plus negative 8. Okay, so what is 12 plus negative 8? All right, so you have 12 bucks in your pocket. Your friend comes up to you and says, "Hey, can you give me my $8 back?" All right, because you owe, right? This is like debt. You owe, or you just got a bill for $8. So how much money do you really have? Well, you have 12. Now you're going to pay your bill. You're going to pay off your debt. That's negative 8. So you're left with positive 4. Okay, so 12 plus negative 8. Again, you subtract the difference, but this is the larger number. It's positive 4. So you don't want to remember these things in terms of a rule. I like to use money as a good model. So it just kind of makes sense, right? You have 12 bucks, you owe someone, or you just got a bill for $8, you pay that off, so you still have positive $4 left. Okay, that's as simple as that. Now let's go ahead and take a look at some more examples. What if you have negative 2 plus negative 3? So last week you borrowed $2 from your friend. This week you borrow $3 from your friend. And so how much collectively do you owe your friend? Okay, well, negative 2 plus negative 3, you have a total of $5 in debt. Okay, so that's how you would handle that situation. Negative 2 plus negative 3, you have a total of $5 in debt. Again, use this money example. All right. All right, now we've done everything here except talk about subtraction. So let's talk about subtraction. And I basically said that you're going to just remember one rule, and that's for addition. So I just showed you how to add positive and negative numbers. Remember, you just want to use common sense and think of the signs of those numbers as either you having money or having debt. Okay, and just kind of stop and slow down, and you can kind of figure this out. But let's take an example like this, 3 minus 7. Okay, so we've got 3 minus 7. Well, a great way to subtract positive and negative numbers is to change the subtraction sign into an addition sign. So we're going to rewrite this problem like this, 3 plus. Now, when we do this, when we change a subtraction sign into an addition sign, what we're going to do is something called plus negative. Okay, I'll say that again. It's called plus negative. I'll say it one more time, plus negative. So what we're going to do is we're going to change that subtraction sign into an addition sign. We're going to do plus negative. So we're going to do change this into an addition. We're going to put a negative to the right of that, and then we're going to put our number right there. So we have 3 minus 7, so we're going to do plus negative. So now we have 3 plus negative 7. Okay, so now we're back to an addition problem. So we have $3, but now our friend comes up and say, "Hey, give me my $7 that I lent you last week." You're saying, "Well, I can only give you $3, but I'll owe you $4, right?" So 3 plus negative 7 is negative 4, okay? So that's how we deal with subtraction problems. Now, let's take a look at a couple more examples. What if I had negative 3 minus 7? Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and do our plus negative again. So this would be minus 3 plus negative 7. So now I have $3 in debt, and $7 in debt. So we're going to have a total of $10 in debt. Okay, so now there's one other quick situation. Let's go ahead and talk about it now. What if I had minus 3 minus a minus 2? All right, negative 3 minus a minus 2. What about this scenario? Well, we want to discuss real quick what a negative of a negative number is, right? So like negative of a negative 2. This sign in math, this negative sign, oftentimes we can think of this as the opposite sign. So this is like the opposite of a negative 2 or a negative times a negative. Remember, the signs are the same. So a negative of a negative or negative times a negative or the opposite of a negative, it's positive, okay? So a negative of a negative is positive, right? We just want to remember that. So what do we have here? So we have negative 3 minus a minus 2. Okay, we can think of this as plus negative or plus a negative 2. So this is going to be negative 3 plus a negative 2. Again, it is positive 2. And we're back to an addition problem. Okay, you have $3 in debt, but you only have $2 in bank account. So after you pay all your bills, you still owe $1. Okay, so you have negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1. Okay, so that is going to be a wrap here for positive and negative numbers. Just remember, multiplication and division is super easy. It's the same rule. Okay, if the signs are the same, the answer is positive. The signs are different, the answer is negative. When it comes to addition and subtraction, just think in terms of putting all your problems into an addition form, and then think about money. Okay, just as we did that, and then also keep this negative and negative situation in mind. If you do that, you're going to be good to go with positive and negative numbers. So, anyways, if you already knew all this and you're like, yes, this was just a good review, then I must go ahead and give you a happy face for being such a great math student. But if this video was a nice little, like, new way to looking at this topic, well, then go ahead and smash that like button because that definitely helps me out. Now, if you're new to my YouTube channel, you definitely got to subscribe. If you like my teaching style, I have a ton of videos on my channel. I've been on YouTube for 10 plus years. I have over 1,000 plus math videos, basic math, arithmetic, all the way up to calculus. So my goal is to try to really teach math in a clear and understandable way. But my best math instruction will always be within my Math Help program. Okay, so with that being said, I definitely wish you all the best in your mathematics adventures. Thank you for your time and have a great day.